Hey, I'm Kev Massacre, and welcome back to Valentino Rossi the game, as we're entering the final few races of the season, where Kev Camelot is an outside shot overhauling the Yamahas as he has continued his path towards the top in the last episode, but he's running out of races, unfortunately. He has shown he's been a force with the Ducati, but maybe just too little too late in the end, as Rossi and Lorenzo have just been insanely consistent at the top on their Yamahas, despite some race tactics coming into play. So Fair Pine, one of my favourite circuits. A circuit I love and which should shoot this Ducati as well. I get the feeling we're going to be right at the front again. But it's all about those tactics. Can we make the Yamaha pair lose quite a few points? If we can't, then it may be title race over after this race. On this episode, we mainly talk about one man, as I'm recording this the Friday week, at the end of the week, when on the Monday, unfortunately, had the news of a former Ducati rider who had passed away, and that is, of course, 2006 world champion Nicky Hayden. He lost his life after a few days in the coma after his accident, just out cycling in Italy on a training accident. He passed away at the age of 35 as we get through the Q2. And we're going to see if we can grab pole to improve our corner, which is pretty important around this place. So we are aiming for pole, but as I said, we're mainly going to be talking about Nicky Hayden in this episode. It's taken just me a few days just to... still not used to it. You look up to people growing up, kind of think of them as not mortal, and Hayden was as a person, even though he's like so outgoing, charismatic, the nicest people ever on the outside looking in, and from the in, everyone is saying how great a person he was, so must have been very well, but one of the realest people ever in motorsports. But yeah, it's been a few days and it's just taken me some time to just get on my thoughts. I'm not the most articulate person. It does take me time to kind of properly express myself at times, and it's definitely the case with seeing the loss of Nicky Hayden. And a few days before that, seeing the loss of Chris Cornell as well. He's probably my biggest musical influence as well, someone I really did admire. Yeah, it's sad to see a couple of guys who I really did look up to pass away in days of each other, and in very tragic ways. As I don't know if that's good enough for pole. Very good for pole. There's over a second faster than Marcus, Lorenzo, Rossi, Iannone and Dovi on the second row. Ahead of Pedrosa, Vinales, Espargaro, Elish, Crutcho, then Paul Espargaro and Petrucci. So we've done half the job here in Australia. Let's try and get a win to improve our braking, throttle management and body position.
Greetings to all the race.
So here we are in Australia. I know I kind of skipped the beginning, didn't I? But I think you know what it is like now, after almost 30 episodes of this career mode. But as you can see, looking down the grid, we've got Smith and Redding once again together, and we're back right at the back.
The riders have all lined up on the starting grid. We are mere seconds away from the start of what promises to be a sensational Grand Prix.
As we've got a poor start, we've dropped back down to 5th. But Ian only right in our tail, Nick and Tara outside our teammate. but we've got a Yamaha past us, which is not what we want to see. As whoa, we're getting swamped. We've got both the Yamahas past us, should I say. But Rossi and Lorenzo battling for the win while we're down to 6th. So go through the fast left, which should be our corner. And then we're backing off slightly. Gonna let Dovi, the back of the tail there, try and get past Rossi, just like Marquez has. We've still got Lorenzo leading, which is not good, as Ian only pushes us wide. As Danny makes a move on him, and now we've got the Suzuki pair trying to battle us, the Tech 3 pair. We're dropping back desperately on this first lap of 7. Almost outside the top 10. Going to ease our way back into it though, past the leash. So we've got Danny and Andrea battling. And after this first lap we get back to the Kentucky kids. So in the final corner, a bit wide. So if you're watching this episode a couple of weeks later wondering why have I put it so on, I haven't. It's just, you know, with the release schedule, that's how it works out. As whoa, massive crash from Pedrosa. He took out, no, it's Marquez. Marquez made the mistake. Took down one of my teammates. Unbelievable from Marc Marquez. And there goes one of the guys who could have helped us as well in this battle. He took out Dovi. And now Ian only's trying to take out Pedrosa in revenge, probably. In front, Rossi and Lorenzo are battling for the win. But it's time for us to join in and try and grab it from them. Go round the outside of the Doctor. Maybe Lorenzo as well. Tough corner to outbrake. And oh, Lorenzo's pushing us. Not giving us room. But we're going round the outside of the Spaniard. And now we can just plan our race from the front. As we go on to the third lap of it. So we're the fastest lap in the previous lap, 26.8. Now we're going to back off for a couple of laps, save the tyres as well. Fast circuit, so they do wear quite a bit. And we want to save something for the last couple of laps. And we want to manage this Yamaha pair behind. What was I saying about Nicky Hayden interrupted in qualifying? Yeah, fantastic man and fantastic rider as well. It might not knock on his record, you know. After he left Honda, only 3 podiums with Ducati in 5 seasons, then a couple of years on the open class Hondas at the back of the field. Well, it's those 5 or 6 seasons with Honda. He grabbed most of his success, introduced us to the world as well after a successful career in America. Not just road racing, being a flat track racer as well. Incredible on that surface and being one of the best as well in America. And that's where he got his style as well, being a bit sideways, and that really did suit the 990cc MotoGP bikes. When he came over to America as well in 2003, I don't actually remember much of 2003 season, you know, first proper season I watched MotoGP. Most remember Rossi winning, which seemed to be the case back then. But he had a very good rookie year. And then when Rossi left, he was the team leader. Well, I say that, he had Max Biaggi alongside him, but Hayden was improving as a rider, and he got his first win in 2005 at Laguna. Brilliant victory. And then in 2006, when he was leading the championship most of the season, like at the halfway mark, it looked like it would be his. He had one hand on the trophy, really, but you can never rule out Rossi. And actually, my biggest memories from the 2006 season are his battle with Edwards at Assen. Where I was quite an Edwards fan. I really did want him to win that race. As much as I liked Hayden and Honda, I wanted Edwards to win that race. But then he just went over the curb in the chicane too much, unsettled the bike, and unfortunately Colin Binned probably his best chance by a country mile he ever had in MotoGP in a race. Even though he had some superb rides as well, like in Donington 2009, I remember from Edwards in particular. It's another one that stood out. But yeah, Hayden won that race, and at that stage he led the championship by over 40 points for Hayden. But then Rossi came back, and in the penultimate round of the season, of course, we all know what happened in Jerez, in Estoril. Well, I don't actually remember watching that race because I was pissed off at Danny for taking out Nicky. Because again, I wanted Hayden to win the title. Got a bit bored of Rossi winning it all. Even though I really did admire the Doctor's, skill, he definitely was the man to beat. He's one of the greatest riders ever, if not the greatest. But it's time for a change, and as I said, Hayden's such a local character. I liked Honda as well. I liked Pedrosa. Seen him rise up through the ranks in 125s and 250s. So yeah, I was very angry at that. I was probably as angry as Hayden was when Pedrosa took him out in Estoril. And so yeah, I didn't actually see the rest of that race, and I don't actually remember seeing that finish until recently. It's like I've watched it after on YouTube, no doubt. The team has some 101 as well, or Motorsport 101. Dre doing his review of that race. And seeing how it actually played out. But then they headed to Spain, to Jerez, and you thought it was Rossi's title because he was leading. And at a track where he's pretty decent in Valencia. Did I say Jerez again? I meant Valencia. But then Rossi was the one who made the mistake. Ducati had a fabulous race 1-2 with Bayless winning his only MotoGP race at a Capirossi, and Hayden finishing in third and just breaking down. And seeing, I've probably never seen someone celebrate a title so much. Even Jenson Button winning his first F1 World title after all those years. We've seen the likes of Vettel and Hamilton and Schumacher in F1, in MotoGP, seen Rossi, Lorenzo, Stoner. Seen all these great champions, even in WRC, seeing Richard Burns beat Colin McRae in 2001. Nobody celebrated the title as much as Hayden, from what I've seen and can remember. It was insane, his celebrations, and well deserved as well. But then they switched the bikes up, 800cc, and Ducati came to the fore with Stoner. We'll see Yamaha, of course, very good. So we run right there. And Honda were playing catch up, and Pedrosa got better. Even though he was a bit of a glass man, when he had an accident he was going to be injured, and he's never fully fit during those years. And Hayden struggled to adapt, and then he went to Ducati alongside Stoner. But Stoner was having health issues of himself, and so Ducati fell back. And he never had the best luck after winning that title, Nicky Hayden, in MotoGP. But it was great to see him at Ducati alongside Rossi again. And then Dovi in the final year. That was a brilliant battle between the pair in the midfield. especially at Indianapolis. You remember that race? At the front, we had a fantastic battle, and then they were pushing each other off the track, trying to beat each other. It was brilliant to watch. As we won this race, but unfortunately, Yamaha pair behind Lorenzo and Rossi. With Joseph 4th, Inoni 5th, Spargo 6th, Vinales 7th, Petrucci 8th, Elise Spargo in at 9th, and Dovi down in at 10th, and Marcus recovering to 12th. So 2 rounds remaining, we are 44 points back, with Rossi leading Lorenzo by 14. But in the Constructors' Championship, very close. Ducati now just 7 points behind at Yamaha. So a very good race and good memories of Nicky Hayden in MotoGP. But we're going to move on to his World Superbike years in the next round.
Hello from Sepang.
Which, as you can see, is the penultimate round of the season in Malaysia on the Sepang International Circuit. Not the best for bike racing. Pretty decent for F1 in its heyday. But that's coming to an end. And so it's our reminiscent of Nicky Hayden as well in this episode. So we're going to try and do in Browell in this Ducati, win the last couple of rounds, and hopefully Lorenzo and Rossi will score 0 points and then we win the title. At least that's the plan. I was saying, Nicky Hayden, I really did like him on the Ducati again, as I said, growing up, Ducati fan, even though I like Honda as well. And I was all over the place with my fandom, and now I'm just a general support of almost everyone. I just want everyone to do well, really, in any zone watch. But I do have my slight favourites, of course, like I did have with Hayden in World Superbikes when he went over and tried to become, I think, the first guy ever to win the MotoGP title and the World Superbike title. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I remember that was his big ambition, why he wanted to move over after being right at the back in MotoGP as well. It was not fun seeing him all the way back there. Same with Colin Edwards in his later years as well, with Ford Yamaha. We got unceremoniously dumped. Still don't really know what happened with Colin Edwards and his exit from Grand Prix motorcycle racing, but when Nicky Hayden went to World Superbikes, a new challenge alongside a bright talent in Van der Mark as well at Honda last year. And despite Kawasaki once again being the class of the field, with Chaz Davies being the guy to challenge them, it was fantastic to see Van der Mark do very well, and Hayden as well grab his only win round this venue in World Superbikes and become a select through group who's won the top class Grand Prix motorcycle racing and World Superbikes, alongside, say, Max Biaggi is the guy that really comes to my mind, of course. So it's fantastic to see Hayden at least achieve that ambition, to do a 57.8. And it was a pretty good year for Honda last season, but unfortunately this year much tougher with Stefan Bradl alongside him. Another former Moto2 champion, should I say, and a former fellow Honda runner. As well, he of course raced with Aprilia last year in MotoGP. As we go through the Q2 by a second, see what we can do and grab another pole maybe as we improve our agility and physical condition. Very important round this circuit. And Bradl is also part of this group that are coming over to World Superbikes now when their MotoGP career is kind of near its end, or, you know, with Hayden, with Alex De Angelis as well in recent years, Tony Elias, who's now in America racing AMA. So now AMA seems to be getting back on its feet, attracting international riders like Elias, which is very good to see. It's been in the doldrums for a few years. But in World Superbikes, yeah, Hayden coming over was a fantastic boost for the series, and even though it wasn't challenging for the win every race, it was still fantastic to see him ride in World Superbikes, and they'll be very good last year. This year, much tougher alongside Stefan Bradl, and no, they're both outside the top 10 in the standings at this point. At the time of his passing, unfortunately for Hayden. And it's going to be a very emotional occasion now this weekend, coming up when I'm recording. 6th round of the World Superbike Championship, racing in Donington Park. With Stefan Bradl being the sole Honda rider. There's going to be lots of things to celebrate. You know, Nicky Hayden's life. There's going to be a minute's silence before the races. There's also going to be Hayden's bike in the Honda garage, just in his memory. I don't think anybody will forget Nicky Hayden for a long time to come. Definitely was a character, and as I said, very charismatic with his wild riding style, great personality. So rest in peace, Kentucky kids. And thanks for the memories. And I was saying in Rossi Street. That was pretty nice. Yeah, just been a great rider and a great human being as well. So we grab another pole by a second from Marquez, Lorenzo Rossi, Dovi, Iannone, Vinales, Crutchlow and the Espargaros. With Pedrosa outside the top 10 for from Danny. So let's go through to the penultimate round of the season. Can we grab another victory? But more importantly, can the Yamaha guys score a few points to the die? Kev coming up the championship as we improve our cornering.
Hello from Malaysia to all the race fans tuning in. In a few minutes, the riders will be taking their positions on the grid and getting ready for the start of the MotoGP race.
Which is a race we've got to win and hope that Rossi and Lorenzo take each other out, get taken out. As we note down the order, there is Pedrosa on the 4th row alongside Barbara. Redding and Smith once again inseparable on the 5th row. And right at the back is Baptista there is Stefan Bradl in 20th.
Warm-up lap done with, the bikes and riders are lined up and ready to race here at the Sepang circuit. The start of another Malaysian Grand Prix is just seconds away.
So we have the engine, trying to get a good start. And it's a slightly shorter race compared to most, only 5 laps, but as you see it's a long circuit for the bikes. As Marquez gets the whole shot ahead of Lorenzo. And we try and block off Rossi behind, but he pushes us slightly right and Lorenzo's forced his way by Marquez. Now we force our way past Marquez. We kind of slightly hold up, that's allowed Iannone through. So allowed the Yamaha pair through. We note to the outside of Rossi, note to the inside of Lorenzo. Right, we go slightly wide, but we do take the lead in this first lap. As Iannone has passed Rossi. Going to let up on the power into this first left. And then go through the next right. And a last note on Nicky Hayden, of course, my thoughts go out to his family and friends. It was a very difficult time. As I said, someone that motorcycle racer will not forget going forever. And we really did open the floodgates for, as Bradl's gone down at the back, teams and riders to challenge Rossi as well in a period when he looked invincible. Of course, he saw it with Stone in Ducati in 2007, then from within his own team with Lorenzo there. As he takes second place back from Iannone. So that's the Kentucky kid. Hopefully we'll see more American riders come through the ranks in the next few years, like PJ Jacobson, World Super Sport. I can't remember, he's gone up to World Superbikes now. James Spoli as well in Britain. So there's a couple of good young talents, and it's a young American as well. He's won the last couple of AMA Superbike titles in Moto America, so there's definitely some American talent out there to fill the shoes of Hayden and that generation, which I said, you know, Colin Edwards, Kenny Roberts Jr., I know he was in his twilight years, John Hopkins as well, Ben Spees, of course, the likes of Yates in AMA Superbikes as well, and Steve Rapp, I remember his name correctly, a veteran at that stage, but yeah, America definitely had some very good motorcycle riders during that period, the likes of the Bostroms as well just before then, and of course Nicky's brothers as well, Tommy Hayden and Roger Lee, who have won AMA titles themselves, and back in 2001 on the podium with Nicky, a flat track race in America, one of the top flat track races in America, as Hector Barber's down behind. So hopefully you see a resurgence in American motorcycle talent. As I've said with Japanese motorcycle talent before in this career mode, I hope to see that return, as Japan were very good in the 90s and 2000s. But that's so now as went into someone as we went wide, we hit Lorenzo accidentally. What did I say about them scoring less points? As Rossi's getting overtaken by both Suzukis. Unbelievable, as here is the doctor. Who did not shove off track. Why are you accusing me of that? Let's go down the outside of the Premax and Danny. As Rossi's down to 12th. The Yamahas are having a mare this race. So we had a mare in that final corner. So let's see what can we do as we're back up to 6th. But Joes are pushing me through these sweeping corners. We've got the Suzuki's in front, very good race. Very good to see with Eliska ahead of Maverick. Well, so halfway through this race, of course, we're looking to win this. With the Yamaha struggling, we might still have an outside shot heading to the final round of the season. And as I said about Nicky Hayden in 2006, anything can happen in that final round, the final couple of rounds. Let's go slightly right. Oh, go slightly off. As Rossi's down. Both the Yamahas have gone down. Lorenzo, they've crashed into each other. I said I wanted it. I never thought it would happen. But Rossi and Lorenzo have messed up in Malaysia. It is the chance that Kev Klamart has wanted, he needs. But can he take advantage of it as he's down in 6th, heading onto the penultimate lap of the race? Marquez and Iannone battling at the front. Maverick does the fast out the race in 5th, so you try and break round his outside. I think that's Dovey in 3rd. It is. So you get a fantastic run through the right, past the Suzuki's, right into the back of Dovey though. Now down the inside of my teammate. Iannone takes the lead from Marquez, and now we're here to join the battle. Iannone doing a good team job, of course, holding up Marquez. That's what he's intending to do. Same with Dovey with the Suzuki's. As it's all coming into play for Kev Camelot. We're living on a prayer. It might have been answered. In this race, it's very deep braking. The Marquez has been held up there by Iannone. You can perhaps nip down the inside of the Honda man into the right. Not quite, but definitely into the slow right that is coming up, or even round the outside into the left. It is a Ducati 1-2. Fantastic for the constructors standing as well, with Yamaha really messing up. What a day for Ducati. Filling up half of the top 6. And with the title hold heading on to the final lap, in a great position to win the race and take the Riders' title to the final race of the season. After the Yamaha pair have crashed and it appears to have taken each other out. Unbelievable, as there is the fastest out the race, a 57 flat just when he needed it. She braked very early into the first corner as here comes Marcus diving down the inside. Dovi battling back up to 4th. Past the Suzuki's. Doing a good job holding them up, Dovi. Ever the team player. As, whoa, too much onto the dirt. To the right, here comes Marcus again. He's got some catching up to do to Eno, and he's outbrake ourselves, going a bit wide. Marcus can't take advantage. So we go into the fast sweepers in the middle of the lap. Through the left where we gain a good amount of time, and then into the right. Where, oh, Iannoni's messed up. Iannoni's messed up. Here we go, through the double right. Can we get a good run? And perhaps make a move into the chicane or the hairpin at the end of the straight. As that is a very good run. Now down the inside, Iannoni. Oh, he does. He dives it. But Iannoni's back pie. The Ducati riders are coming to blows on this final lap. As Jack Miller is down from 15th. That could be a vital crash as well. As Brado's also down as we take the lead. Kev Kemert takes the lead. As Marcus is down behind. Mark Marcus has gone down. We got crashes happening everywhere on this final lap. And so that could play into the Yamaha's pairs with a couple of point scoring riders down. As here comes Iannoni down the inside into the final corner. Kev Kemert shuts it off, hits the apex. Lays Iannoni on the exit. It is going to win the battle of Ducatis and take the win. Just like in real life last year where Dovi won that battle. And one unbelievable race, an unbelievable result as well. But Rossi's worked his way back up into 10th. Where was Lorenzo? 19th for the Spaniards as we did the fast out the race and won just from Iannoni. Then there's Suzuki pair of Vinales and the Spargo. Dobby in 5th, Petrucci 6th, Crutchlow 7th, Lafferty in 8th. Fantastic result for the Irishman. Marcus in 9th and Rossi up into 10th. As I said, vital crashes near the end of that race. Pedrosa down in 13th. And Ronnie Hernandez scored the final point. So we go to Valencia still with a hope. 25 points back of Rossi. We need the Italian to not score. We need Lorenzo to not score once again. And then we could perhaps win the title with Ducati. Somehow that Malaysia race plays into our hands, just about. But it's still Rossi in the driving seat as he's got a 20-point lead over Lorenzo. So the Spaniard and Camelot hoping that Rossi has a mare once again. As in the constructor standards, we have a change of positions at the top as Ducati lead by 12 points from Yamaha, the long-time leaders. Constructor standards this season, but now the Italian manufacturers leaped their Japanese rivals, with Honda securing third ahead of Suzuki despite a very good race from the Japanese manufacturer, who now have half the points of Ducati, with Aprilia in a very solid 5th. So what a race to round out this episode. An emotional episode where we're talking about the Kentucky kid, but find out what is going to happen in the title battle next time out as we improve our braking, throttle management and body position. Thanks for watching. Rest in peace, Kentucky kid.